What if I told you that some of the greatest revolutions in human history weren't led by kings, warriors, or inventors but by animals? From horses that built empires, to dogs that helped humans survive the Ice Age, to lab mice that quietly unlocked life-saving cures, these creatures have been rewriting history for thousands of years. Even today, sharks are warning us about climate change, and scientists are bringing back extinct beasts like the dire wolf. Sounds crazy? It's all real. These aren't just animal stories, they're the secret chapters of our own. By the end of this video, you'll see the world and every animal in it in a completely new way. Ready to find out which creatures shaped your future? Let's dive in. The horse civilization's engine. Let's begin with a creature that didn't just carry humans, it carried history forward at full gallop. The horse. Roughly 4,700 years ago, deep in the steppes of Western Russia, humans domesticated horses in a way that altered everything. A groundbreaking genome study published in 2024 confirmed that this was no ordinary event. It was the moment transportation went from human-powered to horsepower, and the ripple effect was unstoppable. Prior to this, early domestication efforts in Kazakhstan by the Butai people involved horses for milk and possibly meat, but it was the steppe tribes that transformed horses into tools of conquest, mobility, and culture. Suddenly, chariots sliced through the battlefield, messengers could cross continents, and empires expanded farther than ever before. The horse didn't just move people, it moved languages, ideas, and economies. In fact, the Indo-European language family, which now spans most of Europe and parts of Asia, likely spread on horseback. You could argue that without horses, the English you're hearing right now wouldn't exist in this form. Imagine being a prehistoric human used to walking barefoot through mud and scrub, and suddenly boom, you're speeding across the plains like an ancient Formula One driver. The horse wasn't just an animal. It was the original engine and the spark behind millennia of acceleration. Dogs, humanity's first best friends. Long before horses revolutionized civilization, one animal was already curled up beside the fire, listening, guarding, and probably begging for food. The dog. Dogs are widely believed to be the first domesticated animals. And in 2025, researchers confirmed they've been by our side for more than 12,000 years, possibly even longer in parts of North America. Think about that. Before we had cities, written language, or even farming, we had dogs. When early humans ventured into dark forests or icy tundras, it was often with a canine companion beside them. Dogs were hunters, guards, trackers, and companions. But they were more than just tools, they were social glue. Their presence encouraged cooperation, nurtured empathy, and may have even helped Homo sapiens outlive the Neanderthals. Imagine how vital that bond must have been in a time when the night was full of dangers, and one howl could mean life or death. Dogs weren't just pets, they were partners in survival. While your modern pug may not be fighting off predators anymore, every tail wag and snuggle has ancient roots. Your dog isn't just part of your family. Its ancestors helped create family as we know it. Lab animals, tiny heroes of modern science. Now let's fast forward to the present and shift our focus to the silent heroes of the laboratory. They don't get statues, movie roles, or TikTok fame, but lab animals, especially mice, have arguably saved more human lives than any doctor ever could. These small creatures have been central to breakthroughs in genetics, neuroscience, cancer treatment, and vaccine development. And the impact is very recent. In 2024, animal testing led to one of the most emotionally powerful breakthroughs of the year. A gene therapy that restored hearing in a child born completely deaf. That's not science fiction. That's modern miracle powered by the humble lab mouse. These animals also played a pivotal role in refining asthma medications, exploring new schizophrenia treatments, and improving cancer immunotherapy techniques. Even the revolutionary mRNA technology that helped fight the COVID-19 pandemic was developed and validated in animals long before human trials. Next time someone says, "It's just a mouse," consider this: without that mouse, millions of children might still suffer from conditions we're now on the verge of curing. Lab animals may not get thanks, but they've earned it 10 times over. Wildlife, the unsung architects of our planet. While some animals work behind the scenes in labs, others are quietly saving the world outdoors. Wildlife, often overlooked in conversations about human progress, is actually holding the fabric of our ecosystems together. And by extension, they're holding us together too. Global research in 2025 highlighted that wild animals directly support 12 of the 18 critical categories of human well-being, from fresh water and clean air to agriculture, and even disease control. One famous example is the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone National Park in the US. Once they were brought back, an entire chain reaction began. Deer populations balanced out, overgrazed forests regrew, riverbanks stabilized, fish and birds returned, and even the water quality improved. It was like rebooting a crashed ecosystem with wolves as the restoration software. Bees pollinate more than 3/4 of our food crops. Without them, we'd have major shortages of fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Meanwhile, whales fertilize oceans through their nutrient-rich waste, and beavers build wetlands that store carbon, filter toxins, and reduce droughts. They don't wear suits. They don't attend climate conferences. But they're doing more to combat climate change than most humans ever will. Climate change and rapid animal evolution. Now for a twist that sounds like it belongs in a sci-fi novel but is playing out in real life. Animals are evolving faster than we've ever seen because of us. Evolution, once thought to take millennia, is now happening within decades. Why? Because our planet is changing fast, and animals are adapting or dying just as quickly. Let's take bull sharks as a case study. In 2025, researchers found they now remain in Sydney waters nearly 15 days longer each year than they did just 15 years ago. Warmer sea temperatures caused by climate change are shifting their migration patterns and extending their presence in human-populated zones. Elsewhere, bedbugs are developing chemical resistance, fish are altering breeding cycles, squirrels are changing their foraging behaviors in cities, and birds are modifying their songs to be heard over traffic noise. What we're witnessing isn't just adaptation, it's rapid evolution, a live-action response to a world humans have reshaped, and not always for the better. We're not just observers of evolution anymore, we're its most influential driving force. De-extinction, bringing back the dead? Now we enter territory that sounds like Jurassic Park, but it's real. In 2024 and 2025, scientists at Colossal Biosciences created 3 living animals designed to resemble the extinct dire wolf. Their names? Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi. These aren't clones, but engineered gray wolves with ancient DNA markers. One reportedly doubled in size within 6 months, an early sign of accelerated selective evolution. The same company is working on bringing back the woolly mammoth and Tasmanian tiger using CRISPR technology. Supporters say de-extinction could restore lost ecosystems and even help fight climate change. Critics warn, are we saving nature or rewriting it recklessly? Either way, the age of de-extinction has begun, and it's not slowing down. Animals that act like us. Let's wrap up on a surprising and strangely heartwarming note. Some animals aren't just adapting biologically. They're adopting culture. In 2025, researchers observed chimpanzees in Africa sticking twigs in their ears. Not to clean them, but as a form of social signaling, what scientists called a cultural fad. Chimps were doing it not because it served any physical purpose, but because other chimps were doing it. That's fashion. That's trend-setting. That's Instagram with fur. Meanwhile, in labs, mice have demonstrated behaviors once considered uniquely human. When their cage mates were anesthetized, some mice tried to revive them, nudging them, licking them, waiting by their side. These aren't just reactions. They're expressions of empathy. Think about that. The gap between human and animal is shrinking. They bond. They grieve. They follow trends. They act out. They rebel. So next time your cat knocks something off your table for no apparent reason, don't get mad. Maybe it's not mischief, it's performance art. And that's a wrap. From horses that built empires to mice that save lives, animals haven't just been part of our history, they made it. They changed how we travel, survive, heal, and even think. We promised you wild stories with real impact, and I hope you're walking away seeing animals not just as companions, but as co-creators of human civilization. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments. Which animal do you think changed history the most? Next up, forgotten animals that built the modern world. Don't miss it.